Hey YouTube, Moosecap here. Hey, I did a tabletop review on this particular Camillus fixed blade and this Camillus folder. Actually, got a real good deal on these on Walmart, and after I received them and used them for about a month, I wanted to do a review. And on those two separate reviews, I kind of touched up on what this video is all about, but I kept it to a minimum because it was gonna make the video way too long if I kept talking about it, and then so I already had in mind to do a separate review. And this video is about the companies of Camillus. Okay, and it's just kind of my gripe or complaint about it. Now the company itself is good. Don't get me wrong. They have, from what I read, excellent lifetime warranty. Not all, but some of their products is, I think, very good quality. They use good material. And this treatment they do to their blades, it seems like almost all their blades, most of the blades have this carbonate titanium finishing on the blade, which is something that they do treatment to each of their steel depending on whatever steel it is. So it makes the steel itself, whether it be Aus-8, VG10, it just makes it a lot more stronger. And they do a good job of advertising that, but I just felt like this company lacks a great deal in their marketing and their website, which is to me like the same thing. First of all, I'm not like this expert in knives, but I pretty much know a decent information about knives and knife steels than I would say your average Joe. I have basic knowledge of all the different type of metals, and I'm familiar with a lot of the popular brands, and I own a lot of their those. I would say let's just say I own a lot of the most popular blades, like from Spyderco, Benchmade, Cold Steel, and all that. Kershaw to name a few, Victorinox. But I've never heard of this company. Maybe you have, but I've never heard of it. That tells you they could do a better job in their marketing. Actually, I've heard of knives side knives, like off-branch knife that this Camillus company makes. I've heard that company, but never heard of Camillus. If you guys heard of Les Stroud knives, survival knives, he did a Ultimate Survival or TV show, whatever, and then he made knives, and he went through Camillus to make those knives. And I understand they're a SHOT Show too, but for some reason they didn't get that much coverage from other YouTubers. And now you can't find those videos, but that you really have to search for it. So after getting these great deals on these knives, I did some research, and I found out more about Camillus. And what I found out was their marketing pretty much sucks, and their website kind of isn't that great either. And I say that because, a lot of our knives that we have, and I only have these two in front of me to show you, but say, for one thing, you need to have better name recognition. Everybody heard of Spyderco. Everybody heard of Benchmade. Everybody heard of, say, Kershaw. And the knife itself, to gain popularity, it needs to have certain things. Like, of course, it has to be made well. That's obviously obvious stuff. But you need to give it a name too, so they get name recognition. This is a Spyderco Persistence. When you say Persistence, you don't even have to say Spyderco. You probably know what knife you're talking about. Now, Camillus, the name for this knife. Now, I'm not describing it. Now, the actual name for this knife is something like 2.5 inch. I could be wrong on this exactly, but just on like the numbers or whatever. But they call it something like 2.5 inches tanto folding knife. That sounds like a description of the knife, but no, that's the name of this knife. If you look up their website and find this knife, it'll be under something like 2.5 tanto blade folding knife, which is kind of ridiculous in my in my mind anyway. We know it's a folder. You could tell it's a folder. We know what a tanto blade shape is. Okay. Same thing with this. They call this 5 inches tanto fixed blade. That's the name, 5 inches tanto fixed blade. I just think they could have come up with a better name than that. Come on. You know. You can't be creative, just copy something. Like, everything's black on here, so I would have called it like, I don't know, kind of steal from 300 blackout and just call it like 500 blackout or 2.5 blackout, and this is 5 inches, so we'll just call it 5 blackout. Give it a name so you get product recognition. If somebody asks me if I've been carrying this around for the past month every day, part of my EDC, and somebody saw this. Actually, one person did see it. We didn't really get into it, but if they were to have ask what is that, you know, with this I would have said, Spyderco Persistence, Korsha Scallion. This I would have been like, well, the name is 2.5 inches tanto fixed blade. That sounds like a name that you get, you know, that sounds like those knives that don't have a name, those cheap $5-10 knives you get at the gas station. Maybe even those have, you know, names. But I don't know. I just feel like they could have done a better job on that. Now, to be fair, on their website you could find other knives that they did give it a name. So not all knives, but I just found out weird that some knives doesn't even really have a decent name. And the other thing was that when I looked at the website to get more information, here's the thing: as a consumer, and I think a lot of you guys could agree on this, if we can't find the information on something, then we're gonna have to assume that it's not there or the worst of it. Because they lack information, I'm not gonna assume that it's there or it's better. Do you see what I'm saying? For example, this is a full tang knife, but nowhere can I find that information because the Camillus doesn't have as much market recognition. I just couldn't find any review on this knife on YouTube or anywhere else. Now, I guess I could have called them up and asked them and stuff, but I just don't have time for that. I just want to look at a review and find out all that information, or at least look at, and be able to look at their website and get all that information. So, full tang is a good thing, I usually don't like to get fixed blade unless it's full tang. But nowhere do they mention that. And there was like one picture, which I could kind of see the angle, but because it was dark, I couldn't be sure. So as a consumer, you have to think, well, they don't mention it's a full tang, so I'm not going to assume it's a full tang. I'm going to have to assume that it's not. And some of their knives, fixed knives, are full tang, and some of them are not. Like they have the machetes. Those are not full tang. It comes in like 3/4 with the, under the plastic handle. So you can't just assume all their knives are full tang. That's why they're not mentioning on their website. This particular one is full tang, but nowhere does it say that. It also doesn't give you weight. I did separate review, and I put in all the information that was missing from the website. But come on, I shouldn't have to do that. The website should be able to answer all that. So it doesn't tell you the weight, and also doesn't tell you the blade thickness. And I noticed these two examples of knives compared to the other knives in same size are a little bit on the slender side. But I wouldn't think it's so slender, or it's not like they need to like hide the fact that it's this thin or this thick. It's a little bit on the slender side, but it's not crazy thin. Made pretty well. I really appreciate, like, for example, this one. Like, some knives don't have this. Do you hear that first click before the lockup? That's a ball detent to keep the blade from shaking out. That keeps it from shaking out. Flies out with no problem, but it also keeps it. Hear that? So that's one of those little details that they put into this knife that I appreciate. But they didn't tell you that either. They didn't tell you that this deep carry pocket clip is only one position. You can't switch it out. I don't mind it. I'm just saying it's a little information that could put in there. I mean, so but then the ball detent, that's a good thing. That's something you want to let your consumers know. Hey, this is, we put this extra work into it. This is extra, engineering and all this. I mean, they did tell you what kind of lockup it was. That was nice. At least they let you know that. But there's some other information that was totally, I thought, basic information that needed to be there and it wasn't. So I don't know what's going on there, but like I said, I feel like their research and development company is good. Their manufacturing is good. Quality control seems to be okay from 4 knives that I bought from them, and those examples, they all seem to be decent. I mean, little things like blade centering, lock up, the no play in the blade. I mean, they all seem to make pretty decent blade, but just marketing doesn't seem to be on par with the company itself. So anyway, that's my little gripe about just Camillus. I don't know. I guess it's not really a gripe, if nobody knows about it, it's no skin off my back. It's not like I'm getting paid from them or anything. But sometimes you see certain things company do, and you just get a little, frustrated. It's like, what are you guys doing? You have a decent product here, and why don't you guys market it better? But anyway, that's my video. If you have any comments, questions, please leave below. Thanks for watching, guys.